Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL offseason is here. Well, it's already been here. We're going to rank today's NFL's biggest winners and losers here from this NFL season, or I should say this offseason, to see what teams are going to be good going into next season, or what expectations we have for these teams next year. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. This is BiggerNation.com. Welcome back here to another video, guys. I'm just coming back here from vacation. It's been a long time since I literally did a recording video, but we're here, we're back. And like I said, today we have this year's biggest winners and losers from this NFL season. So like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like and that subscribe button for me. Make sure you guys join that Discord, follow me on Twitch, and if you guys haven't as well, make sure you guys go check out our shop. We have some epic merch out there right now, so make sure you guys go check that out, as well as our which we'll get into in just a moment. And if you guys are interested, you guys can join our NFL fantasy. The link's in the description. All you need is your email and password to play. It is the ESPN version, so if you guys want to join that, make sure you guys please do so. But without further ado, guys, I think this video is pretty simple, explanatory. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it going. But first, let's give a shout out to my shop. If you guys haven't checked out our shop yet, make sure you please do so. The link will be in my description. Also, you guys can check it out on our Discord. If you guys haven't joined that yet, make sure you please do so as well. And make sure you guys hit this redeem code up here on your final purchase or whatever deal that we're on. Right now, we're on 25% off the shop. That will change eventually, so make sure you guys go check that out. Get every 25% off all the store or whatever code that we're on, or whatever redemption that we're on there, and you guys can get some awesome stuff. We have shirts, we have t-shirts, we have aprons, we have long sleeve shirts, we have coffee mugs, we have pants, we have matching outfits, all that fun stuff. And you guys can get it in 3 different logos here. We have the Money Lord Tradition logo, we have the Money Lord Nation logo, and we have the Money Lord Sign logo all by itself. And we have everything available for you guys in all different platforms, all that stuff. Like I said, if you guys already hit my link in the description, check out our store. I really do appreciate y'all, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get things going here. Alrighty, folks, like I said, if you guys haven't checked out our shop, make sure you guys please do so. I really do appreciate y'all support. But without further ado, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. Like I said, this tier list is pretty simple for today. We have the winners tier, we have the neutral tier, which is it's a tier that I just put on here because some teams are just, I mean, they made good moves, but at the same time, I think we just kind of see, we need to see what it's like when the season gets here before we can actually call them a winner or a loser. And then bottomly, so of course you have the losers tier, of course. So without further ado, guys, like I said, I think I'm gonna go division by division here because I think that's just the easiest way how to do this. So to start things off here, we got the AFC East, and we're gonna start off here with the Patriots. Patriots a winner for me because what they did this offseason, I thought they really need some wide receiver talent. They got AJ Brown, they got Romeo Doubs. I don't know how they pulled off that Romeo Doubs deal, but I love that they did that because they kind of felt like they needed that #1 wide receiver and a clear-cut #2, and I'm pretty sure those two are going to be. Plus, I do think they'll be great fits for Drake May, and they'll be able to keep majority of their core. So I like what the Patriots did there. They're big winners for me. The Bills, I mean, they did get DJ Moore, which I was complaining about the Bills for years to do, to get like that #1 wide receiver, and they did that. Besides that, I don't think they really did too much of anything here, and they did resign majority of their defense from last year, but at the same time, their defense was kind of iffy last year. I mean, they did get Torres, or whatever, however he calls his name, I don't know, but I think I just need to see this play out for the Bills. I'm gonna put them in. I don't know what to bring for the Bills. I'll put them as a winner for right now because basically what I did tell them to do was to get that #1 wide receiver for their team, and I think they did that. So I'll say winner. Dolphins are losers, probably one of the biggest losers this off season. I mean, they basically just gave away the rest of their good core to another team. James Waddle, he's out. He went to Denver. I thought he was probably their best wide receiver last year. They got rid of Tyreek Hill. That never helps because, you know, Tyreek Hill will at least give you some energy on offense. And then you got Tua, which I think we all knew that was going to happen. But your starting quarterback now is from Malik Willis. And now Malik Willis, I actually feel happy for him because now he's going to get an opportunity in Miami. I just don't like what Miami did at all. And then the Jets, I think they're starting to rebuild that core a little bit. I don't mind what they really did this offseason. I'll put them in neutral right now because I just need to see I just need to see what this turns into. This is more like a future thing for the Dolphins. I mean, for the Jets, it's more like a future thing, not like a right now thing. It's like they're trying to build up for the future. So, just need to see how that plays out. But they probably they did do damn good this draft. Fuck, I can't talk right now. Next up, we got the AFC North, and we're going to begin here with the Baltimore Ravens, which I do think they are a winner. I know it kind of still sucks that they didn't get the Miles Gage trade. I mean, no, not the Miles Gage, not the Miles Gage, the Max Crosby trade. It's kind of unfortunate that they didn't get that, and they probably should have gotten that, but they got Trey Henderson as a backup there. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's been pretty impactful at Cincinnati last year. I just like where Baltimore is. It kind of felt like last year, or I had at least had a feeling last year that the Baltimore Ravens were kind of go into the roster and try to squeak the things up because they've been a little bit disappointing over the last couple of years. Even though it's not their fault, they're injured. They couldn't really do anything about it last year. But like other side that core and get Trey Anderson as opposed to Max Crosby, so I think they're big winners this offseason. Cincinnati, I'm gonna put in neutral because, like I said, it just really depends on how they are. And now the Bengals are more like a win down team than it like a future like the Jets. So it's kind of like two more different conversations here about these two teams here. But I'll put Cincinnati in neutral because they did do some nice stuff this offseason. They got some defensive players finally. They got Dexter Lawrence. They got Boy Murphy, and they got Brian Cook. So they got some defense out there, and I'm glad they didn't really touch the ball on offense. So we'll see. I'll put them in neutral because we need to see what that looks like for them. Browns are winners for me. Very love what they do. I really like what they did this offseason. They got, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think trading Myles Garrett was the right thing to do because you don't want to waste Myles Garrett's career in Cleveland. Yes, I know he's by far your best football player, but at the same time, like the Browns' mindset is like future-wise. They're not really trying to do anything right now. And when they got Jared Verse from the Rams, I thought that was a really good start to their future. So I like what the Browns did there. Steelers, they're kind of on the same boat as Cincinnati. I just think we need to see what this ultimately plays out. Sure, it could be a pretty good damn team this year. It will see, but I do like the addition of Michael Pittman. They got him. I love that trade there for Pittsburgh. I thought Pittsburgh won that trade over Indy there, and then they got Darryl Savage, what I think is going to be a pretty decent. I think it should be a pretty decent addition to Pittsburgh. But like I said, we just need to see how this plays out. Next up, we have the AFC South here, starting off with the Houston Texans. I'm not going to lie, I think the Texans are actually in neutral. I'm not really going to call them a winner because we just need to see how everything plays out. Like I said, it kind of feels like they should be a winner. Like the neutral tier here, it's like you should be winners, but we just need to see how it plays out before I can actually call you a winner. That's basically what the neutral tier. I probably should have said that before, but Texans, they got David Montgomery, as I do think they will. I think he will be the starting running back next year because assuming that Joe Mixon, or at least I don't know what's going on with Joe Mixon, if he's going to be back or not, I'm not sure. But I think David Montgomery right now is their starting running back, unless they're going to start Woody Marks. But like what they did this offseason, be able to keep the core. I mean, their defense, I like what they did on the defensive side of the ball. I have no problems about their defense. I'm just putting them in neutral because I just don't know what their offense is going to look like. Does their offense bounce back from last year? That's mainly the main thing this offseason I was looking for the Texans, is how their offense would improve. And they did clear up some cap space this offseason, so maybe they still have some time to go out there and make a couple moves. See how they feel about themselves, but not a bad all season for the Texans. Like I said, we just need to see how everything plays out. Colts are a hard one because they got rid of Michael Pittman, which I don't like that trade for the Colts. And then they did get Ethan Stick, but I'm not too worried about him. They did extend Danny Dimes, but I think Michael Pittman was a big part of that team. I'm gonna call the Colts losers because I'm just not a fan of what they did this offseason. I'm just not a fan. Jacksonville, yep, kind of on the same boat. Like I said, it's kind of unfortunate because I was really rooting for this team last year, but Jacksonville, don't like what they did at all this offseason. Got rid of Travis Etienne. I thought that was a mistake because Travis Etienne had a pretty good damn year last year, and I think he looked comfortable over Trevor Lawrence. So I just don't like that move for Jacksonville. They lost a lot of free agents. And I thought they passed up a lot of deals that they probably should have made. Like according to what other teams should have made, I thought Jacksonville should have made those trades and really upgrade themselves. And I don't really think Jacksonville did anything to really, push them over the top, like winning the division last year. I thought they could take an extra step up, and they didn't. Tennessee, Tennessee's a tough one because they got John Frigley, the pass rusher, and they got a couple playmakers like Dan Robinson. Very excited what he does down there. But actually, do I call him a winner though? Because I really like what they did this offseason. But at the same time, do I need to see how it plays out? Plus, I'll put him in neutral because I need to see what this plays out. But I do think that the Titans did a pretty damn good job this offseason. But like I said, they're kind of like in the same story as the Browns. They're not going for now. They're going for the future and what the future holds for them. So, very like what Tennessee did there. I think they're going neutral right now. Now we got the AFC West. Starting off with the Broncos. The Broncos are a hard one. I do like the trade that they got with getting Jay Waddle. I love that trade for them because it could have kind of felt like Denver needed another wide receiver. Their offense was pretty, it wasn't the best last year. They're kind of like in the same situation as Houston. Like their defense is incredible, but their offense just needs some work, or their offense just needed another guy. And give credit to Denver. I think Denver actually got that guy in Jay Waddle. But the question is, how does it turn out though? I'm gonna put Denver in winners because they really did. They really went into this offseason and did what they needed to do. So I like what Denver did this offseason. I think they're a winner. Kansas City, I don't mind what they did this offseason. I thought they did a pretty good, decent job in the draft. And I do like the Kenneth Walker deal. I like how they got Kenneth Walker, got rid of Isaiah Pacheco. I like that. I think that's an upgrade for him. But at the same time, it kind of feels like for the Chiefs, it just kind of feels like if Patrick Mahomes is available or not. I'll put him in neutral because, like I said, I need to see what Patrick Mahomes' stats is, and I can't really rank the Chiefs as a winner or a loser right now. But as we get into the season, I'll revisit this, and now we can actually see what the winners and losers are. I'll probably make a video like post mid-season, something like that. Raiders are definitely winners. They're probably one of the biggest winners of this entire offseason. Love what they did in the draft. Got Mendoza. I think he probably should be starting next year, to be completely honest with you. Either him or Kirk Cousins, wouldn't mind. But I just loved literally everything about what the Raiders did this offseason. I thought they dominated. They did what they needed to do to make themselves better for the future. Love what the Raiders did. I think they're one of the biggest winners in the offseason. Chargers for me are a loser. I'm not a fan of the Chargers right now. I just don't like what they did. Just knowing what the Chargers were missing this offseason, you could kind of feel the Chargers. They just needed like a superstar type talent to go over there and like to fix up their culture a little bit, because the Chargers, they just feel like a team that could be beat because they just don't really have that star. They don't really have that. It just kind of feels like besides Justin Herbert, it just kind of feels like a team of above average players. Like they just need somebody like an actual an actual superstar that can go out there and give you that consistent all-star type talent. And I don't think the Chargers really did that. Sure, they got Mike McDaniels, an offensive coordinator, and they've made some other couple moves out here, but I just don't really like what the Chargers did that much. Next up, we got Washington. Well, never mind. Now we got the NFC East, like I said. But we can go ahead and move on to Washington because I have a lot to say about Washington. Washington's a winner for me. I actually really like what Washington did this offseason. I thought they dominated the draft. They got Tony Styles, which I couldn't really think of his name one video, and I feel like a jackass for that. But I thought he looked really good in college. I think he's going to look really good. Plus, I think Washington can use him right now instead of later. They got Chad Joko from the Titans, a tight end. I like that addition for him. Because you don't know what's going to be going on with Zach Ertz. You don't know if he's going to be back next season or all that after he tore, what was that? I think he tore ACL. And I thought they did some pretty nice moves this offseason. They made a couple upgrades on every side, on each end of the ball. Jaden Daniels should be coming back healthy. So I actually do like Washington did. I think they're winners here. Cowboys are a hard one to rank because it just kind of feels like the Cowboys are winners because they really took the offseason. They're kind of like the Bengals. They went to this offseason knowing that they need defense, and they kind of get that. But at the same time, they re-signed Javonte Williams, which I thought he was awesome last year. So I'm glad they did that. Um, I mean, they got Rashawn Gary, and they got also a couple good defenders in there. We'll put him in neutral. We'll put him in neutral right now because, like I said, I just need to see how all this turns out. Um, Giants are a hard one. I'm kind of in between neutral and losers because I'm not a fan with the additions that the Giants did into the roster. But they did get John Harbaugh as a head coach. I do like him. I think that part was good about the Giants. That's why I can't specifically call them a loser. But at the same time, I don't really like what else they did. I mean, they got Odell Beckham Jr. I don't think he's gonna be as good as he was. Braxton Burrow. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna call the Giants a loser. Because just besides John Harbaugh, I just don't really like the moves that they made. To be completely honest with you, I know that's shocking, but I just looking at that, I just don't think that all this looks promising. I just don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, I am wrong, but we'll see. Um, Eagles are another hard one. They're kind of like in the same conversation as losers and neutral because they did lose AJ Brown. That sucks. But at the same time, you have AJ. But your number one wide receiver is now Devontae Smith. I think he will pick up that role. They got Elijah Mitchell running back, which they didn't really need because they got Saquon Barkley. They got AJ Pinta, but at the same time, does that really make a big impact for them? The pass edge rusher. The Eagles' defense is not that bad. But at the same time, losing AJ Brown hurts in this deal, man. And I don't think they really did too much to upgrade the roster that much. Yeah, I think I gotta do it. I'm gonna put the Eagles and losers because I just don't think they did enough to me to really be convinced, that they're gonna go out and do something this year. So I'll put them in loser. Now we got the NFC North, which if I'm not mistaken, I think this division is actually the easiest one to rank at any division this year. So starting off, we got the Bears. I think the Bears are winners actually. I don't know because basically what they did this offseason is that they basically took Caleb Williams and just tried to build a team around him. That's basically what that's a simple explanation what the Bears did this offseason. And I respect that. But the question is, does that carry on or to move on to next year? Does that really help out Caleb Williams? I think it does. Like I said, I think the Bears should be trying to build a team without Caleb Williams. I do think that's the right mindset to go into. But question is, will all of this turn out at once? I don't know. So we're gonna put them in neutral right now, but I don't mind what the Bears mindset is on that. I don't mind that. Lions are neutral as well because they didn't really do anything this offseason. I know they gave up Montgomery, but at the same time I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think the Lions are a good enough offensive team that they can work around that. And they did get some defense too. They made a trade with Houston, got defense. We'll see for the Lions. Packers are losers to me. I'm not a fan. I don't think this was an ideal offseason for the Packers. You got rid of Romeo Dobbs, which I do think that was a key piece of your team last year. I just don't like it. Josh Jacobs, I don't think his situation is looking that good. Jordan Love, I mean, they got some great guys in that team, but like I said, Michael Parsons is probably going to be out for the first half of the year, I heard, so just not ideal for them. Minnesota's a winner. I think Minnesota's probably the only winner this offseason. If it's not them, it's the Bears as well. Like, so you can make an argument to put the Bears as winners as well, but I'll put the Vikings as a winner as well. Because I've been talking about this for years. The Vikings, the only reason why they are a bad team or an average team is because they don't really have a quarterback to run their system. Now you bring in Kyler Murray, which is not, he's not the best quarterback, however it means, but He's a guy that can at least carry your offense to win a couple bowl games. And the Vikings have that roster that is just really good besides the quarterback situation. So now the Vikings, since they have like an actual guy that can run their offense, they might be able to do something this year. So I think the Vikings are huge winners just by getting Kyler Murray. Next up, we have the NFC South here, and I'm pretty sure you guys know where this division is going. So first things first here, we have the Atlanta Falcons, and yeah, hold up. Alright, there we go. I had to fix myself a little bit. Alright, so starting off here, we got the Atlanta Falcons, and like I said, I think I know where this is headed. Well, where this division's headed. First things first, the Falcons are a big loser. The Falcons really didn't do anything this year to improve their roster. Like, I know they still have like guys like Bijan Robinson, but besides that, they didn't really do too much of anything this offseason. I just thought that Atlanta, this was their offseason to go out there and do something impactful to actually give them a chance to win the division. And to be completely honest with you, I don't think they did that, honestly. I mean, they got Tua, but I don't really think that's really too much of a game changer, or whatever they did. I just don't think that they're a game changer that could really help them right now. So even though that's how weak the division is, and we'll go ahead and get to it in a minute. But yeah, like I said, I thought the Panthers, I hate to say it for the Panthers, but I thought they were losers too. I don't think they really did too much of anything this offseason. It just kind of felt like they're kind of like in the same situation as Jacksonville. Now since you won the division, I think you're headed on the right path to like actually be like somewhat of a contender. So why not go out there in the offseason? Why not go get some shreds? Why not go get some shreds, but not shreds, but why not go get some guys that you can think that you can be like more than just a playoff team, or more you can be like more of a slight contending type team. And I just don't think the Panthers did that. And then we will look at the Saints. I thought the Saints did pretty well. Probably out of this division, I thought they did the best out of this offseason. But I gotta put them in neutral right now because, like I said, we just don't know what the team's gonna look like next year and stuff. But I do like how they are planning to get younger. I do like that for the Saints, and I thought they made some pretty interesting moves as well. I like the move that they got for Jacksonville for Travis Etienne. I do like that because it looks like Alvin Kamara is getting a little old. It's because the Saints, remember the Saints were one of the oldest teams in the NFL last year, and I thought they did a really good job of trying to get younger, also trying to build the momentum they had at the end of last year. So I like what they did for the Saints. And then the Buccaneers, are going to go right in the middle as well, because the Buccaneers, I don't think they had a bad off season, trading Mike Evans, that's going to hurt. But at the same time, I think the Buccaneers have enough weapons to at the point that they can say, I think we have enough talent, a wide receiver talent, to basically cover Mike Evans, as we kind of saw last year. But I don't know what a whole season impact's going to be. And they also did some they got some defensive core help as well, which I do think that would help for them. But the question is like, how is that Mike Evans impact will it hurt him or help him? That's kind of like where I'm going with here. And last but not least, the hardest division of football, the NFC West. And I'm glad we're starting off with the Cardinals here, because the Cardinals are plain and simple. The Cardinals are the big losers. Well, the Cardinals are losers in the first place. First of all, you're playing in a packed-ass division. I don't think the Cardinals did a single thing that's going to help the roster for next year. They lost a shitload of veterans. That sucks. They lost a lot of veterans that started on their team last year, like Kyler Murray. I think James Conner's still there, but they still lost like a lot of veterans. So their team is basically nothing but young guns. That's basically what the Cardinals is. Now they did get Jeremiah Love in the draft, but at the same time, that's another young gun. I just don't like how the Cardinals got rid of all their veterans. I just don't like that. It just kind of feels like everywhere on that team is just young, including like the head coach. Kind of feels like everybody's just young on that team, and they're just kind of like, let's just go out there and let's just compete the kind of season. So I don't really like what they did for the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Rams are a winner. They might be one of the biggest winners of this entire offseason. Matter of fact, they might be the biggest winner of the offseason. I don't know. They're right there with the Raiders. But the Rams, they literally did everything that they needed to do. They got two cornerbacks for the Chiefs, Trent McDuffie and Brown. Like how they got them too, because I've been talking about this for years. The Rams' main weakness on their team is secondaries, and I think they fixed that. We also got Myles Garrett, which I do think that will help tremendously. We can even get Aaron Donald back as soon as possible this season. So, love what the Rams did this offseason. I think we're one of the NFL's biggest winners of this offseason. Speaking of winners, the Niners are also a winner, as much as I hate to say it because you guys know I'm a Rams fan, but the Niners are a big winner because like I said, they did what they need to do this offseason. They got Mike Evans. They finally got the #1 wide receiver. They got some defensive help back there. They got Ashton Watson, which I do think I love. They were able actually to keep their core what they had. So like what the 49ers did this offseason, I think they're a winner. And Seattle's a hard one because you would think like Seattle's already a Super Bowl champion, but at the same time, they lost a lot of veterans. They lost Kenneth Walker. Now you're kind of, and I know you got Price as an upcoming rookie, and he's going to be working with Zach Charbonnet. And then I already know their defense. Their defense can overtown everything. I have a little bit questions about their offenses next year, but at the same time, like I need to see how much that big of an impact. So I'll put him in the middle for right now. Like I said, I just need to see how big of an impact Kenneth Walker really is, because we already know that team is really good. We just don't know what kind of impact they're going to be having or whatever. So like I said, there you guys have it. Like I said, if you guys already hit the like and that subscribe button, this is me ranking every NFL team's biggest winners and losers of this offseason. We have a couple other videos coming up here, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys hit the like and that subscribe button. Do appreciate y'all support, and without further ado, I'm gonna hop off. Good thing you guys can watch some time. Appreciate everybody's support. This is BeamNation.com. Peace out, stay safe. I'll see you good people in the next one. Peace.